Hi, my name's Nix and I'm Head of Culture here at Ignition Group.
Hi, I'm Kelly, Head of PMO.
We're here today to have a quick chat, a quick cup of coffee, and just to share some ideas, thoughts, some advice. And I think mental wellness has been highlighted for us South Africans, particularly over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Taking into consideration the 3 L's: lockdown, load shedding, and looting. We've been through a lot.
I agree.
And I think what goes on in our mind from a mental wellness perspective is something that we really need to focus on and talk about.
I agree. And there's very much a stigma around mental wellness and mental illness. And it's almost like it's something we don't speak about, it's taboo. So people will proudly say they're diabetic and they're taking insulin or they broke their leg, but people don't speak about mental illness. And I think the 3 L's have highlighted the issues that people face emotionally when things are going bad. And now there's very much this awareness around, I need to look after my mental wellness. I need to put things in place so that I'm coping with life, etc.
And I think going back to that mental illness, mental wellness, what does it mean? You know, it's not, as you said, it's not a broken leg that somebody can see, but it's also goes in swings and roundabouts.
Yes.
It's something you can feel one day and not feel the next. It's people's coping mechanisms. It's putting on your armor every single day and thinking that you have to be strong all the time for everybody around you because you've got so many people relying on you.
Correct.
All the time. You're the breadwinner, you're the mother, you're the father, you're the colleague, you're the friend. But you know what, sometimes I think it's okay to drop that armor for a minute, a day, a night, a week, and take cognizance of what's happening inside your heart, as opposed to having to be resilient and strong and be the tough guy all the time. And to admit that it's okay to not be okay all the time.
I agree. And you know, if we look at wrestling or jiu-jitsu, those kinds of sports, which are quite physical, and they're quite challenging, they too have an option to tap out.
Yeah.
So they can get caught in a situation where they're like, okay, I can't breathe, or I'm feeling pinned down, I'm tapping out.
And I think that's why we have weekends.
Exactly.
That's why we have friends.
Yes.
That's why we have psychologists, we have each other, we have colleagues, is that you can tap out for a bit, you can take a moment to breathe. You can, be it a walk in the park, be it turning off social media, instead of just this go all the time. Take some time.
Yes.
To breathe, to talk, whatever your coping mechanism might be, because you can't go full steam ahead all the time.
Yes, I agree. And I think working from home has exacerbated the 24/7 on my computer. If somebody sees I'm away from my machine for 5 minutes, they're going to think I'm not working. And that has increased anxiety, it's increased stress, and it's created anxiety disorders almost in people that never had them before.
Yes.
It's created OCD behavior in people that have never been medically OCD. And it's really okay to say, between these meetings, I'm going to go and walk in my garden and have a cup of coffee. And I've actually got to the point where I book slots in my calendar between hectic meetings, even if it's 15 minutes, and I make coffee and I go sit outside and I don't look at my phone and I just relax. Because if I didn't do that, I would get to the point where I'm not coping. The sad thing is I had to get to the point of not coping before I realized I need to tap out.
But I think, and this goes to our next point about connection, Carl, is learning to reach out to others.
Yes.
And knowing that you're not alone. Knowing that even in these COVID times when we were in lockdown, you may be there with your family, but you may feel completely isolated. Technology is a two-way street at the moment.
Yes.
It's amazing because, yes, we have Teams, we have our phones, we're watching what's happening on Instagram, but that can actually make us ironically feel a little bit more isolated.
Correct.
Than we would generally normally feel.
And I think that to me, kindness is important. I was driving on the freeway, I think I told you, and I saw the sign on a bridge that said, human-kind, be both.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very important, is to be both. Be human, be real, be kind, because we don't always know what's going on in other people's lives. And it's often the strongest people that are having the biggest challenges.
And we don't need to know.
No.
It's not a case of, listen, are you okay? What's going on? I
Yes.
don't need to tell you, just I need to know you're there.
So I think it's important at Ignition there is a support system, as you've mentioned. There's people that you can speak to. You have set up some programs where people can have access,
Yes,
right?
access to, there's a helpline that you can phone. There's the full people and culture team. You can go into My Ignition, you can go and say, let's talk, and there will be someone there. Speak to your team leader, speak to your manager, speak to me, stop me in the corridor.
Exactly.
Speak to you, speak to anybody. But there are people out there who are willing to love and listen. And there are kind people out there who see you as more than just the person that you are doing what you do, but actually see you as human beings.
Yes.
And who worry about your mental health.
I agree.
And want you to focus on it. I think focus on it as a health journey as opposed to an illness.
I agree. Find those things that work for you, because they're all different.
Yeah.